This might be one of those Christian messages that offends the system so much that I hope it sparks real change. Now, I've asked this question before, but we got to talk about it. Do we know the difference between a lover and a prostitute? In 1984, a fellow named Richard Halverson, concerning church history, said, "In the beginning, the church was a fellowship of men and women centering on the living Christ. Then the church moved to Greece, where it became a philosophy. Then it moved to Rome, where it became an institution. Next, it moved to Europe, where it became a culture. And finally, it moved to America, where it became a business." Basic, I know, and I'd argue the business part started way before America, but it is in the U.S. that it was perfected with televangelism, prosperity gospel, and all that ick. Now, real quick, to frame this up, we have to draw a distinction. Christ and Christianity, they're not the same thing. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That's Hebrews 13:8. But Christianity, as in the religion later derived from the teachings of Jesus Christ, well, that changes all the time. And even a cursory glance at church history, warts and all, shows this. And what is the church? It's not a building, but it's a collection of believers, the church body, often called the bride. And what happens when a body is a business? Isn't that the definition of a prostitute? Oh yeah, this is a big deal. And at the root of this is how many Americans come to Christ and how we in America in turn package that message to the world. Most of us come to Jesus because of what we're told we will get. Blessings in this life, favor, heaven when we die, stuff like that. And we pitch that to others to get them to come to the faith so we can check our spreadsheets and evangelism growth charts. And we're taught that this is expanding the kingdom of God. But what's the fruit of that? Well, if this is a marriage and Jesus is our husband, then we married Jesus for his money and we're just trying to get written into the will so we can get ours. And we don't really care about the husband here. In fact, what's going on with the husband really doesn't affect us at all as long as we're getting ours. Sure, we'll listen for his voice, especially when we want or need something, but we don't really want to spend time with our husband. Basically, we're just gold diggers. And then we, in turn, teach others to be gold diggers because that's what we've been taught this is all about. But if you're motivated to get into a relationship with someone because of simply what you get and not who a person is, that's setting the foundation for a messed up relationship doomed for failure. So ipso facto, if you come to Jesus just because of what you are getting promised instead of getting to know who he is, or because you're just scared of hell's flames, your motivations are based on what you're getting instead of love. Now, can it become love? Sure. But tragically, it's kind of rare. Because in this kind of relationship, the minute you feel like God isn't paying you, you bounce, just like a prostitute. A prostitute pretends to love as long as they're being paid or it's advantageous to them. But a lover does what a lover does because a lover loves. They see no other way. It's their existence. It's who they are, no matter what. So, are we true lovers of God or are we prostitutes? What would happen if the blessings in your life stopped? What if you never received anything else from him? What if you were standing in an arena facing down lions or torches while bound to a stake? Or staring down the barrel of an AK-47? On average, 13 Christians are killed every day for their faith, 12 church buildings are attacked, 12 are unjustly arrested, detained, or imprisoned, and 5 are abducted for faith-related reasons. What if that was you? Would you still proclaim love for Jesus, that he's good, that he intends to prosper you? Maybe God's definition of prosper is different than our mere human understanding. Do you really love without condition, or do you require payment and getting yours? Please understand that I fully believe in the blessings of God. This is not about that, but we've got to get outside of ourselves and look at our own motivations. We've got to realize that he is the blessing, not what we get. The things that we get, they're nice byproducts, but they should never be the source of our love. God is the source, and God is worthy. Not because of what God gives me, but because of who God is. And because of that, I have everything I need. Because you can take everything from me, but no one can ever take God. God's the foundation, not what we get from God. We've got to check our Christian messages and see where they're really coming from. Let's stop being prostitutes. Let's stop teaching others to be prostitutes. Our churches should not be brothels. Let's be lovers. It's so much more beautiful and intimate and rewarding. Can you imagine a church filled with the real love of Christ? A love that esteems others higher than ourselves. A love that sacrifices instead of hoards, gives instead of takes. What if Christians were known for their love for one another? And I can't help but think if we actually lived like Christ, as a Christ follower, maybe we could see and be the change the world needs to see. Just a thought. God bless. See you soon.